Welcome to EFT MBA, Mastering Business Acumen with the help of EFT business experts. Learn the marketing, mindset, and skill set you need to create the EFT coaching practice of your dreams. Visit www.eftmba.com for more information. And now, here's the EFT training team that embodies the art and science of EFT. Alina Frank and Dr. Craig Weiner.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our show. Craig, are you there?
I'm absolutely here.
That was close. We cut it really close, but we made it. Okay, we are really excited about sharing this information today with you all. We are going to be covering something that is it's a bit misunderstood here. So you're into the law of attraction thing, right? And you want to have an EFT business. I can ask at a training. We've trained and mentored thousands of EFT practitioners, and one of the things that we will ask in a training is something like, okay, so how many of you want to do this professionally, and then what are your steps to actually having that actualize? And if I were to poll everyone, I think that we would get, as one of the top answers is, oh, I'm just going to use the law of attraction, right? I'm just going to use the law of attraction to get as much work as I want.
Sure,
well,
why not?
Yeah, well, why not? What have we found over the years that works? What are the biggest misconceptions about law of attraction? How do you need to implement certain things in order to really use it effectively? And so we're going to go and teach you the top 3 most powerful and effective ways to put law of attraction to work in your EFT coaching business. But before we do that, I would like to give out the phone number in case there is someone out there that wants to have us answer your questions live. I'm just pulling up the right window. Okay. So if you want to call in, our number is 347-215-6833. That's 347-215-6833. And you can find all of our shows on our website, EFTtappingtraining.com. All right, Craig. So have you, when did you learn about the law of attraction?
Let's see. Law of attraction. When I think of law of attraction, I scan over kind of how it's reached out through the media, how it's gotten to people. So I think about, how's it come out through, for example, Esther Hicks and the work of Abraham. How's it reached out through the movie The Secret, and a lot of other ways, but those have been most recent. And, the concept is that whatever you're vibrating at, whatever frequency you're at, whatever, you're not just saying to the world like, oh, I love everything about my life, but whatever it is you're resonating with and you're feeling is the kind of concentric circles vibration that you're putting out to the universe, and then what it's going to do is it's going to attract people that feel a similar way, and it's going to attract to you what it is that you're putting out there, right? So that's, I think, the basic premise.
Can you answer something for me? Let's say I'm a complete novice at this, and I don't understand this woo-woo terminology.
The whole thing.
Can you explain vibration? What the heck is that?
Sure. In other words, okay, let's just say that I'm wanting to attract $100,000 of new business into my practice, right? Or I'm trying to attract, 100 new people, or I'm trying to something, right? Whatever that is for you. And so, I'm doing these morning affirmations that I've learned, people have told me have been good. It's like, okay, I can see myself. I see $100,000 in my bank account. I'm writing a check for it. I can see, 100 phone calls on my phone log. I can see. Okay, so I am. So I'm now going to do these affirmations of I am a 6-figure practice coach. I am a waiting list practice where I see that is just who I am. I see it. And meanwhile, while I'm saying that, and I'm saying it to myself, or I'm writing it down, every internal part of my brain is going, what the heck are you talking about? You have 4 clients. How are you ever going to get 100? I barely can pay the bills. Oh, but wait, I see 100 people coming into my door, and my brain and my body is going, you liar. You do not see, right? So when we're talking about what's typically called the vibration or the frequencies, what is the real life messages that your brain and body and energy field are giving off, as opposed to just the words that you're saying out loud or saying in your head? Does that help a little bit?
It does. It does. So let's go into some common mistakes here when using law of attraction. Perfect segue, because that's number 4 on my list, and we're going to start going from 4 down to 1. Number 4 is missing the cues that your subconscious is really the one running the show here.
Yeah.
So what do you want to say about that?
Okay. So, what we know is, for example, we are, there are estimates, and we don't know exactly the percentage, but it's estimated by many sources that we're really only consciously aware of 10% of the information that we're taking in or using in the world, and 90% of it is subconscious.
So hold on. Hold on. So I want to hit pause, and I want you to just suss this out a little bit. So what you're saying is, and the numbers that I've seen have this like different measurements, but one metric is how much of your daily life, day to day, how much in a day are you in your subconscious mind, and how much you are in your conscious mind. And the number is dramatic. I mean, it's like I've seen numbers up to like 90+% of our day is lived in our subconscious versus the conscious. Now, when we are consciously making affirmations, when we are consciously writing a check, when we are consciously telling people about what we want to manifest, or we are visualizing, all of that could be under the category of just 10% of what goes on in your day, yeah?
Yeah. And so much of what we do in that day is by rote and by habit, and we know that habit is driven by the actions of the past.
Exactly.
Right? So if actions and choices and beliefs are driven by the actions of the past, and that is not what we are trying to create. In other words, our past, there are failures. In our past, there are examples of when we tried to go for something great and we didn't achieve them. In our past, we've had high hopes and affirmations that haven't worked, but we're trying again. Guess what? We are being driven in the current by the past, and the habits and the decisions and the beliefs and the things that are, the tapes that are running in our mind all day are driven by the past, which often isn't as good as what we're trying to create.
Right.
So therefore, what we're saying, go ahead.
No, what I was going to say is, yeah. So what I was going to say is, what I wanted to say besides that, you're most of what you're doing, right, is driven subconsciously, which you're not even aware of what most of the time you're not really aware of what that message is that you're sending out. But missing the cues that your subconscious is running the show, and not in a good way, are things like you have 5 clients scheduled and 3 of them cancel, or you have a bunch of no-shows, or you set out to, this is the year you're going to write that book, and the end of the year rolls around and you maybe started an outline. So all of that information is useful in knowing who's really running the show. You've been trying law of attraction, you've been trying and focusing and visualizing, and still no results. That's what's going on. You're not looking deeper. You're not looking at what's happening on a subconscious level that's preventing me from achieving what I want to. Okay.
Yes. Great.
Number three. Most common mistake. Most common mistake is that if you just align vibrationally with what you want, then poof, it happens. So what I want to say about that is that you have to take action. And this is what I just wanted to segue what you were saying before about behavior. So this is the behavior part. This is that you're acting as if this is already coming to you on a consistent basis. And I'm sorry, but I have not met anyone who has succeeded in any business, in any endeavor, that has not acted in some way to achieve it. You want to add anything to that?
Right. In other words, action is part of manifestation. It's an important aspect, right? It's certainly not the only aspect, because, our society knows very well how to take action, but action alone doesn't create the miracles, the serendipities, the magic. That's only one piece.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It would be like just working only physically, but not on an energetic level together. They go together, right? And they're both necessary.
Yeah. And so the thing to do here is to feel out the appropriate right action and take it. Take it. Keep moving towards your goal. And I'm sorry, you're going to have to take action. I know you want to be the Buddha in the lotus position, calling everything in. It doesn't really work that way in this 3D reality. That's why in our manifestation workshop we talk about the mature ego, that part of our being that can get stuff done in this 3D material reality, and aligning it with your soul purpose, the energetic part of who you are. Getting those two in alignment is really the key to getting anything that you want here. Okay, so mistake number 2 is that people stop just short because they lose patience. They feel frustrated that things aren't happening, and they quit. I just talked to two people that on consults last week, and that was exactly the dynamic that was happening for them. They had done this, and that thing. When I asked them, well, what did you do towards creating the business of your dreams? Well, I did this, and that. And so how long a period was that? And then what? Well, nothing. Nothing happened, so I quit. Craig?
Are you speaking about, so you're talking about persistence now?
Totally.
Okay. So just because something doesn't happen, right, if we're tapping into law of attraction doesn't speak to immediacy or automatic response time, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
But
things
the
are happening in the unseen.
Yeah, isn't the challenge that pause, right? The challenge is that patience and that surrendering and lack of expectation, because we don't know how it's going to come back to us, and we don't know when it's going to come back to us, and that is a huge challenge to be able to, in a sense, like put that into the river and let that go, or let that go in a hot air balloon and not know exactly when it's going to come back, and how do you still know that you want something. And so, even in wanting, there's some attachment, and then letting go of that to have it come back however and whenever it will, I'd say is not easy.
Right.
That's a challenge for a lot of people, myself included.
Right. Okay, and then the last one here that I've got, and then we'll go into showing you what you should be doing, is that many people stop. This is something that I see so much of. That's why I put it as number 1. I see this so much. I need to do some tapping because it irritates me. It irritates me because this is the biggest misconception about law of attraction that I see with all teachers. And I've actually been a student of law of attraction. Really, the way that I feel about it is since age 8. And that's when my parents started going to Unity, and my Sunday school teacher would have us play with energy and manifestation. So I've been at this a long time. So I look around the landscape and I see that people are getting this one wrong all the time. Okay, you fire off a rocket of desire. Esther Hicks speak here. You have something, you got clarity around it. This is what I really want. I really want this. I really want this. And so, boom, you set it off in motion, right? You visualize on it. You see it happening. You're acting as if, and then suddenly there will be something that is in the way. So for a client of mine last week, it was that the photos that she was going to use for her website weren't quite right.
Okay.
or that the licensing, she needed to do some kind of somebody else needed to do a special kind of licensing, and the people from that office in her state didn't call her back. Okay. That is enough to make people stop, because they tell themselves, oh, this is a sign that I shouldn't be doing this. Well, guess what, guys? More likely, it's your ego telling you not to go through that hurdle because it doesn't want to be rejected. It doesn't want to be heard again. You failed 50 times before. That's what it really is.
Damn that subconscious. Yeah. Damn that subconscious mind. Again. Foiled the plan.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah. Foiled again. No, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, it doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Doesn't feel right. That happened. Doesn't feel right.
Yeah. So I gotta quit. And that little thing that happens over and over and over again is responsible for so many broken dreams. I gotta tap on that. I'm actually tapping. It brings up so much emotion for me. All the people that start and that don't proceed with what they're destined to do on the planet because of that voice that they erroneously attribute to, that's my vibration, that is law of attraction telling me that I need to switch to something that brings me more joy. Screw that. It will bring you joy. You just need to work through your challenge. All right, you see that?
Wow, I felt that. I felt that vibration. I felt it all the way here.
Okay, so enough about the problems. Let's talk about what to do.
Okay.
1, tap daily on why you aren't moving forward. Tap on those hurdles. Tap on that speed bump. Tap on the thing that shows up in your path to overcome. Because guess what? You grow, you evolve, you learn, and when you do that, you are becoming the type of person that can lead a 6-figure a year or a weightless practice or a booming EFT business. You are growing into that position. And really the soul wants growth and evolution and experiences along the path. The ego wants something right here, right now, without any work. And so it's a much more fulfilling, deeper journey to really see that hurdle and overcome it. Not to say that if so many things show up in the way that it really makes it obvious that you need to take path A instead of path B or B versus A, that you're doing when you're assessing the information that's coming to you on a regular basis. But the examples I gave are really good ones of tiny hurdles that then tell people, oh yeah, I'm not supposed to be doing this, when it's really ego voice. Yeah?
Yeah, no, I nothing to add. That was perfect. Yep.
Okay. The next thing is to tap on changing your field. And in Matrix we use this term a lot. This is what you have created, all the experiences that you have had in your life. They, especially the traumatic ones, live in creating the field that you live in. And that field is what you are attracting to you. And if you do not tap on the negative experiences of past failure, of past rejection, of not good enough, then you won't be changing that attraction point on a subconscious level. Now, let me give you an example. I started a law of attraction group about 10 years ago, no, more like 12 years ago, 13 years ago. I wanted to leave where I was living. I was living in a very big city. It was overcrowded, overpriced. I wasn't in nature. I needed to move to Whidbey Island to find Craig. All those things needed to happen. I needed to leave. And so I said, okay, how do I know how to make big changes in my life? I know that I can start a law of attraction group. So I did. And the most fascinating thing that happened as a result of that group was I saw people that were to me, they look like poster children for law of attraction. So they walked, they talked, they spoke, they sang. All they did all day was focus on the positive, focus on the positive, focus on the positive. And I couldn't even talk about anything that was negative in the group, because they would just say, no, let's shift that around. What can you say? And I got that. But what I realized about certain people in the group was, even though they were looking like they were walking their talk, they were always sick. They were in bad relationships. They were always broke. And then a few years later, when I found EFT, I was struck, because then I finally figured out what it was. People just were not emotionally at that level. Subconsciously, they weren't at that level. They were, again, speaking the talk and walking the talk, but not living or embodying that talk. So you've got to clear those things. And EFT is the best way to do it.
You know what? I think that there's not anybody on the call that can't look around at somebody very close to them, whether it's clients or family or partner or whatever, and see that disconnect and feel that disconnect. That's, I think a lot of people get hooked up. I can't feel energy. For those that do, there are things that you just know, and you just know. You see one person saying one thing, but everything else is showing up in their life, and you just know something's off here, right? And we're talking about, there are lots of ways to look at it. It's a polarity reversal. It's a subconscious saboteur. It's all those different things. We just know that there's a disconnect, and the work that needs to be done is an energetic, spiritual, emotional, physical realignment, says the chiropractor, right? So in other words, we're looking at that alignment of belief and feeling and action and coordinating that, and I don't think that there's anything really more important. And obviously we have the greatest tool, or one of the greatest tools, as far as using EFT, meridian tapping, to be able to work on getting rid of those emotional subluxations, getting rid of those blockages, so that we can be in ease with that alignment, right?
Yeah.
And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for that ease of that posture. I'm on a roll here. I'm on a rant, right? So in other words, posture is that way that I talk about with patients. That's what you're doing all the time. Your sitting posture, your standing posture. It's what you're doing when you're not thinking, right? And this is what we're trying to affect, is how you're thinking, feeling, believing, acting in the world when you're not thinking about it, right? We want those habits to become subconscious, our beliefs and our feelings and our vibrations and all of those. That alignment is so key with law of attraction work.
Absolutely. And so that brings me to the most powerful thing that you can do, besides tapping on changing your field, using matrix reimprinting to create positive images in the field, tapping on why you aren't moving forward, like Craig said, those saboteurs, those negative belief patterns, all of that. But number one thing that I think is really good, once you get this concept that it's not what I'm saying, it's what I'm thinking and feeling, and really finally listening. Instead of tapping on these affirmations, okay, I'm great, everything's wonderful, your job, and when I explain this to people, it's like I can see in their, they just light up, they finally get it. That tapping on positives is only there, really, the best use of tapping on a positive in my book, and yes, I know about EFT cousins. The jury's still out for me about all of that. The best way to use EFT, saying positive statements, is for the gold that it gives you about your subconscious mind. So let's go through a little round here, and you pay attention, like make your ears bigger and really listen to your internal dialogue about these. And don't gloss them over, because like my friend Kia likes to say, you put icing on a pile of shit, it's still going to stink. All right, so let's tap. Does it matter where you tap? No, not at all. You're activating your meridian system, and you're really listening to what your subconscious now is going to give you as gold. Okay, here we go. I have all the clients I need and want.
I have all the clients that I need and want.
My products sell consistently.
My products sell consistently all the time.
I have an endless supply of brilliant and inspiring business ideas.
I have an absolutely endless supply of brilliant business ideas.
I easily choose the ideas that inspire me most.
No, I, without hesitation, easily choose the ideas that inspire me most.
And I easily work towards achieving those.
And I easily and effectively work toward achieving those.
Everything I do in my business is supported by the universe.
Is supported by the universe for me.
I make as much money as I want to.
I make as much money as I want.
And again, this was a big one for me, so I'm just going to repeat it. And again, I am completely supported by Creator.
And I am completely and absolutely supported by God, Creator.
Okay. All right. Now, if I were to tell you, oh yeah, tap on this every day for the next 21 days, you're going to get what you want, that would be foolish. The reason to tap on these again is for you to get in the habit of listening to that small voice, the ego, that part of you that stops you from really going out there and having the business of your dreams. So I hope that this show has been very useful to you. If you like the work that we do here on the podcast, we invite you to check out the EFT MBA program. We're accepting applications. It's a 6-month program, and we'll see if it's a good fit once you apply online, and we set up a brief interview with you. So we'll start in April. We start back up. And I have to shout out to our current EFT MBA group. I mean, aren't you just so proud of them, Craig?
I am. Every day I'm seeing like another step, and them stepping out on social media, and a presentation that they just gave for the first time, and a collaboration or joint venture that they just, were scared to do, and they reached out and now feels easy after the fact. Just so every day I'm seeing some way in which they're stretching and expanding, and like somebody said the other day, there's no way I'd be doing this if it wasn't for this program right now. So a huge shout out of courage, and just I'm so proud of them. Yeah,
it's good. It's really good work. Thank you very much, and we'll be joining you in a couple of weeks. We're going to be having a show on the Northwest Tappers Gathering here in the Pacific Northwest, our annual fundraiser, and we'll be sharing some information March 1st. And you can check that out at nwtappersgathering.com, and the upcoming show will have all of the presenters giving a brief chat about what it is they're going to be presenting. It's going to be a great show. So thank you all.
Great, and you know what? I just want to put a shout. Yeah, I just want to put a shout out that at the, on where most of the people are watching it, you can comment there. So please, we love your feedback. We love your comments, your ideas, and how you're using this work in any way.
Can you be more clear? What are you talking about?
No, I'm going to let you be more clear. That's where most people are watching this on the website, on the EFTtappingtraining.com. Yes, on EFTtappingtraining.com. At the very bottom of that, you can post a Facebook comment or so, and that's the best way that we get your feedback and ideas and know what you're loving and know what you're not. And so I just want to put a shout-out and encouragement for that. We love it.
Another shout-out Go check out the previous show. The previous show that we did was 22 seconds talking about your elevator speech, and we ran a contest. And so go and check that out. I'm not going to give anything away, but the person that won did a brilliant job of uncovering all the mistakes that we made in our elevator speech. So shout out to her. She won. Okay? And you want to
all right. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next time. And keep on tapping.
For sure.
You have been listening to EFT MBA with Elena Frank and Dr. Craig Weiner. To get your free report on the 5 secrets to create a rockin' EFT practice and to learn more about the EFT MBA program, visit www.eftmba.com.